James R. Hannibal, and I'm here to tell you about the Gryphon Heist. It is the first in the clandestine service series from Revell about rookie CIA agent Talia Inger, who doesn't quite get the first assignment she was hoping for. She does, though, uncover a plot to steal a dangerous weapon and must con an elite team of thieves to stop it. Before the end, she will wonder who is conning who. Talia is also a former foster child straight out of college, and she's carrying around with her a lot of anger against the world and against God. Even though there's a lot of high action and adventure, at its heart, this story is about forgiveness and reconciliation. So without further ado, I am going to read to you the first chapter. Present day, undisclosed location. Talia Inger clutched her side, letting her shoulder fall against the alley wall. The pain had been growing for the last half hour, threatening to overtake her as it had in Windsor. Eddie Gupta, her team's specialized skills officer, sat cross-legged on the asphalt beside her, hidden from the street by a dumpster defaced with Cyrillic graffiti. He looked up with concern, fingers hovering over a tablet computer. "Are you all right?" "I'm fine." Talia shoved the pain to the back of her mind. She wouldn't fail. Not again. "Bring up Whisper 1. Show me the square." An app expanded to show infrared video of a small city square. A few gray, lukewarm figures drifted across the cold black of the cobblestones. A white heat source flared near the center, blocking out a good bit of the image for a moment before the filters kicked in. The flash subsided to reveal a single individual seated on the edge of a fountain. The hotspot remained where his hand should be for several seconds, then dropped to the ground and was snuffed out, crushed under his heel. "There's Borov." A hint of British Indian colored Eddie's accent. "He's giving us the all-clear signal. Do you remember his code name?" Talia shot him a look, and he answered with a sly smile. She remembered everything. Always, and Eddie knew that. Her eyes returned to the drone feed. "Escort, siphon is ready. Move in." "On it, Control," a young woman replied through Talia's earpiece. "Moving now." The infrared camera on Eddie's Whisper nano-drone picked up another gray figure entering the square from the west, moving toward the fountain at a brisk pace. Even from behind the alley dumpster 2 streets away, Talia could hear the echoing clop of the linguist's designer heels on the stones. "Take it easy, Kyla," she said, using the girl's name instead of her call sign to be sure she caught her attention. Kyla hated the handle Escort anyway. "Slow is fast, remember?" The linguist slowed her pace to an exaggerated stroll. Talia closed her eyes and shook her head. She should have kept her mouth shut. The abrupt change looked out of place in the quiet square, enough to draw attention from any local opposition. She held her breath. The pain in her side flared, but no enemy forces stormed in to grab Kyla. Alexei Borov's deep grumble came to her through the comlink, a low, intense string of Belarusian. When he moved to stand, Kyla touched his arm and sat beside him, offering what Talia hoped were whispered assurances of his safety. After a few tense seconds, he nodded. More grumbles. Kyla switched to English. 2697. A third player read back the sequence. 2697. Black bag copies. Stand by. In the silence that followed, Eddie glanced up at Talia. She gave him a smile, made thin by her pain. "We'll make it. It's been a year. We can last another 20 minutes. 1 year. 1 year of academics, fieldcraft, and mock missions knowing everything. Fake embassy balls, live fire exercises, chance meetings with undercover agents in Chesterton. Everything was a test. Talia's only break had been the TGT, Trainee Grand Tour, which had taken her across 4 continents in 2 months, sampling every menial, low-risk job the agency could offer. And even that had ended in a 20-page evaluation from 6 different supervisors. 1 year of weeding out the chaff. Only 5 candidates remained. Tonight was their final exam. Success hinged on 2 interconnected objectives: extract a Belarusian scientist from an urban environment and use his access code to steal a device from a corporate lab. They had Siphon in hand. Once Black Bag recovered the device and Talia got them all to the extraction point, the rest was pomp and paperwork. She would pass through the black curtain into the CIA's Directorate of Operations, better known as the Clandestine Service. Scott, the candidate who had read back the numeric sequence, broke the silence on the comms. Green light, Control. One was solid. Black bag is inside the compound. Copy. Talia widened her eyes at Eddie in a here we go look. Escort, Siphon's info is genuine. Get him to the bridge. Eddie tapped the screen again. The first window shrank to half its size, and a second window labeled Whisper 2 opened beside it, giving them a bird's eye view of a walled compound. 4 L-shaped office buildings surrounded a flat bunker. 2 gray figures, her teammates Hannah and Scott, acting together as Black Bag, slipped through a gate in the south wall and crouch ran to the shadows of the nearest structure. Another pair casually strolled in their direction, leaving the central bunker. None of the candidates knew what waited inside that bunker, the infamous sanctum. No graduate had ever revealed the answer. They were spies, after all, and what good were spies who couldn't keep secrets? Black Bag, 2 guards, headed your way. Use the eastern approach. Copy. Black Bag is moving east. We'll be at the door in minutes, Control. We need the second code. Talia gave Kyla a chance to reply, but the linguist was busy. She and Borov had stopped at the exit from the square, arguing in whispered Belarusian. Escort? Siphon says the western street will be watched. Kyla turned north, letting the mock scientist take the lead. He knows a better route. To the south. Eddie opened his mouth to protest, but Talia held up a hand to quiet him. She called up a map of the city in her head and looked for a route to the bridge. It would work. That's fine, Escort. Tell him we need the second code, though. He says we'll get it when we're out of danger. Great. Scott's usual pessimism came in loud and clear. So we play hide and seek with armed guards until Siphon gets a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Escort, shove your gun in his ear and see if that changes his mind. Negative, Black Bag, Talia said. That's not how we do business. Right, I forgot who was running this op. Miss everything by the book. Strange motion on the video feed cut the argument short. Talia watched the roof of the sanctum expand to fill the frame. Eddie, check Whisper 2. You've got a runaway zoom. The SSO tapped the screen, frowned, and tapped harder as granules of cinder on the roof rushed towards the lens. The feed went black. Scott's voice grew tense on the audio link. We heard a crunch from the sanctum. The guards are moving that way. Eddie locked eyes with Talia. That was not a zoom issue. I know. Redirect. Whisper 1. We need to get eyes on our team. Kyla and Borov moved out of frame as the drone left them behind. Through the SATCOM, Talia distinctly heard the scientist say, Prablachi. With his sorrowful tone and inflection, it sounded so familiar to a phrase she knew in Russia, Prostitye. Forgive me. She heard a metallic spit. Kyla let out a muffled cry. At the same time, Whisper 1 dropped out of the sky and crashed into the sanctum roof beside the first. Escort, check in. Nothing but static. Kyla, respond. Talia clenched her fist, pounding the brick wall behind her, and then doubled over to stop the needles shooting through her midsection. The pain had been with her for years, most of her life, but had not become crippling until the previous spring at Windsor, in the middle of the National Rowing Championships. It had cost Talia the gold medal. The team doctors at Georgetown had found nothing. The specialists had checked her kidneys, her liver, her blood work. Nothing. Now, with her career, her future on the line, it was back. You are not fine. Eddie stood, taking her elbow to support her. She pushed him back. Doesn't matter. Black Bag, Siphon sold us out. You're walking into an ambush. Scott didn't answer. They had no visuals, no comms. They would have to breach the sanctum, both deaf and blind. And that is the first chapter of The Gryphon Heist, available at the retailer where you're watching this video and anywhere books are sold. Thanks again for listening. I'm James R. Hannibal.